There's money everywhere. There's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the name. Hey, yo, what's going on? Right now you watching Casino is the Name, and in this video we're going to talk about facts and opinions, okay? This video is motivated by so many things, okay? I decided that I just gonna come on here and go live because I just couldn't take anymore. All right, like it's like everything that I see on like social media or the conversations I overhear or people bring to me, they're all based off of opinions and no facts are involved. And it's crazy, but you know, if you let opinions run long enough, they kind of become fact, right? Like they become what the masses believe is true. And it's typically no real way for either most people to know what the facts are on certain things or how to prove certain things to be true. But then the craziest part is, what about the things that we can prove to be true or false, right? And the masses still choose to not believe it. Or, you know, like it's a very interesting thing. So I was just watching a video, which, like I said, I was motivated. I had to come on here. I was watching this video, and this guy was recommending, he was like a financial guru, and he was recommending to not buy a house, and that it is better for you to not buy a house if you want to be rich or you want to have a lot of money. It is better for you to not buy a house. It's better to rent in your life than it is to buy and own. And first of all, I was just taken back, right? And don't get me wrong, he's not the only financial guru or person of that, you know, with that kind of title that says these things, but there's no real numbers to support it, right? Like who's really sitting here and gonna run the numbers? Like, are you gonna run the numbers when somebody comes on and says, oh, you know, if you buy this, then this is gonna cost you this much, and you gotta factor in this, and the reason why we use this estimate is because you're not gonna sit there and break it down. You're hoping that the person who does the video already did it for you, okay? This guy doesn't own a home. And in certain ways, it would make sense to not buy a house. It would. It just depends on where you're going to stay, what, you know, how much you're going to have to spend. And but for the masses, for the majority of people, it does make sense to buy a house. And then this kind of information goes out, and it confuses people who should be buying homes, people who would benefit from buying their own home. This information is more geared towards probably somebody who's a billionaire or got hundreds of millions of dollars and doesn't mind spending $30,000, $40,000 a month in rent because they didn't have to put down, you know, because to live the way they want to live might be $15,000, $20,000 something a month, and to live the way they would want to live and be able to move around between mansions, I guess if that's the kind of thing they want to do, they'd rather spend a couple $100,000 a year than having to spend 20% down on a home that's gonna be maybe 40 million, and they got to put 20% of that down, and they like, man, I putting down like 8 million or something like that is just, you know, ridiculous. So what they decide to do is they want to rent a place for $30,000, $40,000 a month instead of having to try to buy it. And they're looking at, well, if I put that much money down, I can use that money and I can invest that $8 million or $7 million or whatever and not have to be out of, having to have put that money down and not really seeing a benefit from it when I can maybe make, $1 million, $2 million off of that $8 million that allows me to live here pretty much for free. I understand that. That is not the general public, though. That's not the general public. It's not the general public. The general public, their rent is more than what a mortgage would be. And they may have to put some money down. I understand that as well. But you also put money down when you move in an apartment. Let's say your rent is $2,000 a month. First and last month rent, that's $4,000. Now, $100,000 house, if you did have to put down 3.5%, then that'll be like $3,500. So let's say you bought a $200,000 house, you would have to come out of pocket $7,000 as far as if you put down 3.5% of $200,000, and that's a really easy number to do, by the way, because you're just taking 3.5% of $100,000. So 3.5% of $100,000 is $3,500. So for every $100,000, if you said a $300,000 house, that's easy. Just do $3,500. For each 100,000, so 3,500, and you got 300,000, so 3,500 times 3, and so you'll get a 10.5. Okay, so 10,500 on a $300,000 house. Most people probably have that money in their 401k or something like that. Then there are also these other programs that you may be able to qualify for. Maybe there's a teacher program that helps teachers not have to cover that down payment or give them assistance to the down payment or something like that. So you might have to come out of pocket $10,000 or something like that, or $7,500 or something like that. But that is still a far cry from saying, I'm losing the benefit of what this money would earn, because the argument for not buying a house is that the money that I can generate in the future from me not having to put down this down payment is going to be worth more in the, with me not having to put this large down payment down. But most people don't have to put a large down payment down. When I say large, I'm talking like millions of dollars. Most people don't have to put down $5-10 million on a traditional home. Most people are not in that category. When these people are talking about not buying a house and it's a bad investment and to rent instead, they are not talking about the typical person. That's why this is a very perplexing kind of thing, right? Now, if you just let these financial gurus talk and, they have all of this money and they're saying, oh, yeah, I'd rather rent, I'd rather rent this house on the ocean, instead of taking that money, because if I decided to buy that house on the ocean in California or in New York in a high rise, that place costs, $20 million, and that benefit of the money that I would have to put down, I can make more money than what the rent would cost off of that money that I would have to put down. And then I can also decide if I want to move away, all those things that make sense. But the part that they're missing out is the average person is not going to go buy that house. Then they're not also taking into account everybody's individual situation. Most of them are probably not even thinking about only having to put 3.5% down. They're probably, even on a $300,000 house, they may say, oh, well, you got to put 20% down, which is not how the general public is buying houses. You put 20% down so you don't have to pay PMI, private mortgage insurance. But if you put 3.5% down as an FHA loan, then, $10,500 on a $300,000 house versus 20% down, which would be $60,000 on a home. So yes, you don't have to put down the $60,000. I think they're still speaking from the stance of themselves, because when you buy houses that cost millions and millions of dollars, you don't really get a lot of down payment assistance. Like, they don't really want to say, okay, well, just put this much down. Usually you have to put down more money because of the size of the house, like the amount or whatever. And but most people don't fall into that category. So this is a waste of a video or of information for the masses. But The statement makes sense if you're talking to somebody who got a lot of money. It makes sense. But the general public don't understand that. And so that opinion that this person has with no numbers to actually support what they're saying becomes fact, especially when we just look at their situation, right? I understand how easy it is to mislead people. By the way, I'm an accountant. I might not look like it right now. I got my little kind of sweats on today, but I'm an accountant, right? And one of the things that they taught us in school, what I learned in school, was how easy it is to manipulate people who don't know. So if you see all these artists, entertainers, athletes, other kind of people like that, you'll see them say, well, not everybody, but you'll see a lot of them say, I'm broke now because my accountant took all my money, or my accountant did this, my accountant. They trust people like me to handle their money, which, of course, people can still take advantage. So there's some good and some bad, right? But when these people take advantage, it raised a red flag in my profession, right? And so one of the big things that they hound you about is being ethical. Ethics is a huge part of being an accountant. It's a huge part, right? And throughout me, discovering this, I don't want to say newfound ethical world or whatever, because ethics is a part of everything. But in accounting, it is extreme because it's so easy to mislead people. For example, one of the examples my professor used was charts, right? I can show you a chart, and on that chart, I can, like if I design a chart, I can make you feel like I could create a chart because I want to persuade you. Persuasive charts. I guess what most charts are persuasive or informative, but like if I'm trying to persuade you to look at something a certain way, I can show you something that makes you look at things a certain way. I can show you, for example, I can show you a chart that says most married men are successful married men are more successful than unmarried men. I can show you a chart that shows married men, unmarried men, and you can show average income or salary or net worth of a married man versus an unmarried man, right? I can show you that. And I can say over a 10-year span, this is on average, right? But then that is because I'm trying to persuade you to look at married men or maybe being married as a good thing, right? But then I can show you another chart, say like if I'm playing devil's advocate, and I can show you that the number one separation of family wealth is not the Great Depression, is not stock market falling, it is not real estate crashing. It comes at the hand of divorce, and that 50% of marriages end in divorce. And so even though you may be up, once you're done with marriage, you may be way far below wherever you had gotten to, or wherever your family was, is going to dismantle that, right? So I can show you these two separate things, and both of them can be true. Both of them can be true. They can be skewed or whatever. So one of the things that we talk about in my profession as far as ethics and things like that is how to not mislead somebody purposefully, right? Because anybody can, right? But I can show you things and say, hey, this food is better for you to eat. And then I can show you something else that shows you all the harmful effects of eating that food or whatever. It's a very interesting kind of thing. And so, when we talk about facts and opinions, it's so many opinions out that become hard facts to people who have no real understanding of how easy it is for them to be manipulated, or how conniving people can be, right? Like maybe you're not even easy to manipulate. Maybe I'm just trying to manipulate you. Maybe I go out of my way to manipulate you. I build a whole idealism around this thing that is not even true, and you take it as true. And there's almost, because I just saw something, somebody said that it is, people will believe something bad about you before they believe something good about you, like faster than they would believe something good about you, right? So like if I said, oh, I just made, $100,000 today, somebody would be like, you really think he made $100,000 a day? Oh no, I don't know. If he made $100,000 a day, why he still wear them shoes he got? What does somebody who make $100,000 in a day what kind of shoes they gonna wear? Because they gonna wear them J's. They gonna wear something else. Like they'll create whatever it is to kind of second guess it. I don't believe it till I see it. That's the kind of thing they say. But if they said something like, I heard he got beat up at the club or something like that, then they be like, oh, for real? Damn, for real, that's crazy. That's crazy. They believe that. Like, that's what I heard, but I don't know if it's true. It's probably true. It's probably true. That's what people do. That's what people do. So it's easier to take in that than it is to believe the truth. I mean, I'm saying, let's say, no, not even the truth, something good, right? People look for the bad, right? People are looking for the bad. That's just what it is. I'm not mad at them. I'm just saying that's just how society is set up. So I was talking to somebody. I'm not going to say who they were because he might see this video. But I was talking to somebody, and we were talking about Drake. I don't even know how we got on Drake and whatever, but I don't even think we were talking about Drake. But the subject changed to them saying, well, oh, I know what it was. I was playing an old Drake song, saying like how good it was, right? And they were saying, yes, if he feel like that, then why is he a bad dad, right? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, I mean, he used to be a bad dad, like, And I was like, why you say that? Like what evidence do we have? I don't know anything about him being a bad dad. I don't know. Everything that I've seen has been good from him, and his son and how they interact. I've been seeing it since his son has been getting older. But I don't know what they're, what I could have been missing something, right? So I said, so where is this coming from? And then they said, well, Meek, what Meek Mill said, or not Meek Mill, but Pusha T, not Meek Mill, sorry. Pusha T, what Pusha T said about him, not taking care of his son or something like that. And I'm like, how would he, like, that, just because he said that, there's a battle rap, he's going to say anything to tear somebody down, but I don't have any evidence. And then, I've heard Drake's statements about that. And I don't have any evidence, and as far as I know, he was taking care of him even while he was trying to figure out if that was his son. And so they were like, oh, for real? I didn't know that, right? But, people will take, and I'm like, well, how would Pusha T even know, like, if he's a bad dad, like, outside of hearsay? They're not friends. They don't be around each other, and so it's like, even if they were, why we believe, like, would we automatically default to what somebody says about somebody else? And that was so long ago, but they were still believing this thing that Drake is a bad dad. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy, right? It's an opinion that Pusha T had, or a statement that Pusha T had, and now there's no facts to back up any of this stuff that he's saying, at least that I was presented. It's just statements, and that's all there is. The same thing with the Melissa Ford thing. The Melissa Ford thing and Cameron. I don't know if you guys seen it, but Melissa Ford, Cameron got into a spout. They got into like a little back and forth. Cameron had said that him and Mace was in a brothel. I don't know why they wanted to disclose that, but they was in a brothel. They was talking and saying how they left with a chick out the brothel or whatever. And so Melissa Ford was like, oh, so we're not gonna. I don't really want to say that she said it, but the sentiments is that she was saying that it was some underage women working in that brothel or whatever. But there was no facts that there were any underage women working in that brothel. As a matter of fact, Cam and May said that they were the ones who were underage, right? And so everything else is just assumption. Assuming, man, assuming is so dangerous. It's a dangerous game. And now these guys had a super negative jacket, put on them that they're in a brothel with underage women. There's no proof. First of all, the men in the brothel is wrong already, right? Plus, it was wrong because they was young. They wasn't supposed to be. They was the ones who was underage. But this whole situation, with all the Me Too stuff going on and all of that, if it is what it is, I understand. Like, definitely if somebody's wrong, they did whatever, cool, I get it. But these assumptions, man, accusations, no facts. It's a very interesting situation, Have you guys ever had somebody mad at you with no proof of, like not even just like one-on-one, right? Like, okay, let's say I get into it with my brother. Me and my brother, we have a disagreement about whatever. That's me and my brother, right? But imagine somebody who doesn't even really know the situation thinks that they heard something said, or maybe my brother goes and says, he did this. And so now they're upset, but they don't actually really know. They're just going by what he said. And, it's a very dangerous slope. It's very interesting how all of this works. So facts and opinions. And a lot of that hearsay, this person said this to me, this person said this to me, that's true. It's hard to prove. I get it. And there's even situations that I might have been involved in that, that I might have witnessed or whatever, and my account might be the truth, but the strength in numbers, and if everybody else says that ain't happened, I can't disprove it. Does it make it any less true? No, but I mean, to the eyes of the public, it could, And so, but the things that we can prove, that's where I have the most, like in every situation, people believe in opinions over as facts is crazy, right? I mean, it's not good, but in situations where we can actually look up the facts, we don't. That's the scariest part. It's the lack of actual proof. It's the lack of proof. Like what, So I don't know. Like there was a guy once who during COVID, this guy was like, it was all of this conspiracy. Is COVID real? Is it just 5G? People were saying COVID was 5G at one point. Not really sure even ever why that was ever like the thing, but 5G was coming out around the same time, and people said, oh, it ain't COVID, it's 5G, it's doing this to people. That's what people were saying. Even though all the doctors said, no, look, we can show you this came like this. This is how this came over. It was, so just all the proof, all the science, all of that. And I get it. Maybe you're a spiritual person. Maybe you don't believe in science. I don't know. But the 5G thing was like a farce, Hold on. CC said, how do I feel about crypto? Crypto. Like, what do you mean? How do I feel about it exactly? For me, it's just a store of currency. Like, I mean, it's just any currency is only worth what you believe it to be worth, or what someone else believes it to be worth, right? Like, if you're hungry right now, if you're hungry and like if you're starving, right? You're starving, ain't no food nowhere, and let's say I got $100. Oh no, Let's say it's one burger. We both starving. Ain't no food in America. It's one burger. And I give you $100 for that. Well, I'm saying, hey, I'll give you $100 for that burger. You like, man, I don't care about no money. I'm hungry. I need to eat. Ain't no more food. Your money ain't enough to buy this thing. As a matter of fact, I could probably use the money, use food and buy houses with. If you got a bunch of food, that's technically what they do. They barter food for cash. But what happens when we no longer believe in American currency or the dollar or the Bitcoin or whatever? Once we stop believing in it, then it's not worth anything. So as long as people believe in it, and they back it, and stores will accept it as a form of payment, and you got to pay your mortgage and something. You could, if it comes time, you could trade your mortgage payment for something else. Like it could, I'm not saying that it's ever going to be like that now, but at different periods of time, you could have probably gave goats for a house or something like that, bartered. I saw somebody buy a house with Bitcoin before, and it's just because somebody believed it to have an equivalent value that they can justify them doing that with. What's good, Galvanized Financial TV? What's good, brother? Yo, Casino, happy Friday, my guy. Yeah, for sure. Just stopping through. Appreciate you, man. Y'all make sure y'all smash that like button for your boy. Hit that like button for me, boy. You feel me? But yeah, so with crypto, it's just basically another form of currency, but it's only worth what somebody else values it. So if y'all remember when Bitcoin dropped, it was because Elon Musk was like, oh, you know what? We're not gonna let y'all. We're not accepting that as payment anymore. We don't want to be in Bitcoin, and then it dropped that fast. There you go. Yeah. So appreciate that. Appreciate that light. Appreciate that, my guy. You feel me? So, but Bitcoin being that fast to drop because somebody stopped believing in it is crazy. But that's how I see crypto. I see crypto as just another form of currency. And I feel like even though you got Bitcoin and things like that, it is still not the dollar. Maybe worldwide. I don't even know worldwide because I still go places with a dollar, But let's say in America, can you do everything with Bitcoin that you can do with dollars? No, you can't. And let's say somebody don't have a Bitcoin wallet. Same as somebody don't have a bank account. There's people I know who don't have bank accounts. They can't use Bitcoin. They could, let's say they don't have a Bitcoin wallet, right? To hold the money. Same as them not having a bank card. So I can't Zelle certain people. Certain people, I have to pay them in cash. Bitcoin doesn't do that. And you might say, oh, well, why don't they just get a crypto wallet or whatever? And it's, why don't they have a bank account? Like, some people I just want to deal with cash. And so Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies have that as a limitation. But it is not as useful as cash. You take cash almost anywhere you can use it. Seymour Beezy, how you think the dollar will hold up once BRICS takes off? BRICS, you know what? I got to do some more cryptocurrency research because I don't know what that is. Hold on. Can somebody tell me what BRICS is? Let me see. Hold on, let me see BRICS. I'm about to look that up right now. See, yes, okay. Okay, intergovernmental organization comprising of Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Okay, that's interesting. It is interesting. So look, he appreciate it. I done seen it now. Appreciate that, galvanized. All right, so I mean, it's interesting. I think it's gonna have an effect like maybe how the euro was, but it's not gonna stop nothing in America. It's not gonna stop us from buying nothing. They're just like another union. Like the euro came out, and at the time when I was in Germany, euros were about €1. Well, $1 was equal to $1 was equal to 70 euro cent or something like that. So the dollar was weaker, 30% weaker than a euro. So, but the pound, the England and Britain decided that they were not going to go on the euro system, which was like for Europe. They decided to not go on the euro system, and they just kept the pound. And the pound was worth a dollar was equal to 50 pound cents. Whatever pound cents is called, pints. I don't know what they call, but it was equal to like 50. A dollar was equal to 50 cents in their money. So it was like if you had $1 million and you went to England, you had 500,000. Like instantly, it's cut in half. So it's very different. But in America, dollar was a dollar. You still have to deal with inflation and stuff like that. And then also it might be things like I'm in Germany, but BMWs were cheaper over there than they were here. So you still got to account for that too. Like, how hard is it for your country to get milk? Like in the Bahamas, right? In the Bahamas, a dollar is a dollar. Like a dollar is a Bahamian dollar and American dollar is the same. Like they trade at the same way. There's no greater, no less. If they say $5, yeah, you can get them 5 ones or you can get them 5 Bahamian dollars. It's the same money, right? The only thing is, milk don't cost the same that it do here. I can go to Walmart and get milk for a couple of dollars, like maybe $3 or $2. But depending on where you are, because I think in California it might be like $6 for a certain amount of milk or whatever like that, like versus $3 or $2. So it just depends on where you are, and so it's the same thing as over there. Like your money might trade at a higher value, but it may cost you more to acquire something in one of those places. No place like America, my boy. Okay, newest 2024 members are Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Emirates, with 70 other countries. Okay, digital dollar. The digital dollar is going into effect in January too. So dollars are already digital though. So, when we talk about digital money, it's already digital. So money in the past, money was mainly, I want to say in the past, because during COVID, they had to print a lot of money that they weren't used to printing. But money was really just like being recirculated. So like they were just recirculating the money. That's why they take it back to the treasury and they burn it up or whatever like that, because it was old money at a certain year, they retire it, and then they print up some new money to replace the money that they got rid of. But most people didn't really people were going away from really using cash. Money is digital. It's in your bank account. We see a number. We don't actually go pull it off, but every so often. And so it required less money to be in circulation than it did in the past before they had debit cards and credit cards and stuff like that. So wasn't really too much of a reason to be printing a bunch of money. So when you go get a loan, say you go get a car loan, and they write you a car loan check, that check is still not printed money. It's still digital. It's still a digital number. They're gonna take that number. They're gonna type that routing and transaction number in at the bottom, and that money is gonna transfer into an account, and that money is gonna sit in that account till you go swipe the card or pay something online with your bank account from your bank account and do an ACH transaction. We're already got digital money. I can pull up my phone right now, open up my bank account, and it's digital money already. So money is already digital. The problem is there's still a need for physical cash. Now, you know how you got a lot of businesses that say, oh, we don't take cash no more. I go to my son's school. Now, the snack bar has to be physical cash. They don't have. Now, when you go into the game, they got a little code thing. It's kind of like cash out, but it's something else. You got to scan that, and then you got to pay with your credit card before you go in. But once you're in, you got to have cash. So it's still some people, they only deal with cash. Your yard guy might deal only with cash. Your plumber even may be like, nah, man, you gotta send me that in cash. I don't take Cash App. I don't take Zelle. I've had these situations happen. What is the fix for those things? For those people who are just happier with cash. There's people who paranoid about money getting froze or stuck in certain situations and stuff like that. So, I think I personally feel safer with a bank than I do with a crypto wallet or, whatever. I've been watching videos about this guy, who stole billions of dollars of crypto or Bitcoin, right? Billions of dollars of Bitcoin, and it took them almost forever they would have never caught him had he not done something. I can't remember what it was, but because it's such an anonymous kind of thing, it's no FDIC insurance. It's no, okay, the bank gets robbed, they take the money out the bank, right? Okay, cool. FDIC insurance is going to replace my money. I'm okay. I am okay. Now, can they still freeze my accounts? Can they do this? Yeah, they can. But I'm not doing anything illegal, first of all. But I still feel safer knowing that there's some kind of protection here where even if you transfer this money out, we can see you transferred it out of my account. It's not sent to an untraceable. I mean, it could be an untraceable thing, but the transaction, I can get that back because it's insured or it's covered by the banking system or whatever. So that I do feel pretty good about. But it's great that they're adding all these countries, and if that's how they want to go, I don't have any problem with how anybody, see, any of these currencies are still not American money. And once America say, okay, we want to join the system too, great. But the dollar, what are you going to do? Are you going to just convert all our money from dollars to that? I mean, that's what they did with euros. Like even now, if we went on to the euro system, I don't care. I don't mind it. But the money is only going to be worth what somebody is willing to trade for it, So if you said, man, I got $10,000 and somebody got a Lamborghini and they say, I don't care about your $10,000. That is not enough money for me to give you my Lamborghini. It doesn't really matter. Like you give people what they feel like it's worth, and it's gonna kind of be that, I try to not get caught up with all of because I used to do Forex. I used to want to do Forex. I ain't gonna say I used to do Forex. I did I made a couple cents. You know what I mean? I made no crazy money. I made a couple dollars. You know what I'm saying? With Forex, but it was just on some messing around, just trying to see. And I understood Forex because I travel in and out of countries all the time. I've been in 11 countries, and I was in the military, so I was always flying around with them. And so I would get money. Let me tell you what I did. That was so crazy. I got some money in Korea. And in Korea, I feel like a dollar was 1,000 won, or 100 won. I think it was 1,000 won is a dollar or $10, something like that. And I go, so I'm in Korea and this is how it is or whatever. So if I'm trying to get out maybe it's hundreds, maybe it's 100. 100, I think it's called won. 100 won was a dollar, something like that. So if I'm trying to get out $10, I need to get out 1,000 won, right? So I go to Japan. And I'm like, okay, shoot, I'm trying to get out I think I was trying to get out $20 or whatever. So I pull out 2,000. I think I pull out 2,000 yen. pull out 2,000 yen or something like that, not knowing. And I'm getting ready to fly out like in like 10 minutes or something, like not 10 minutes, but like in a couple, like maybe 2 hours. Like I'm headed to the airport, I'm stopping off, pull out some yen, I pull out 2,000 yen. No idea that the yen is like to the $10 or whatever. Like it's like $10 to the dollar instead of like $100 to the dollar. Cause I'm coming from Korea. I've been in Korea for weeks, and this is how it is. So I just go there, you know what, let me get out 2,000 yen. So I pull out 2,000 yen, not knowing that's $200. And I'm getting ready to fly right back out, right? So I just wanted to pull out $20. So here I am with $180 more than what I was expected to pull out. And I now have to convert this money, and I'm gonna lose money on the conversion. You know you're gonna lose money on the conversion. It's like to convert the money back to dollars, I'm gonna lose money because when I land, but you know, I'm like $20 ain't no big deal. I forgot how much money I lost on that, but I was sick. I was sick because I was only there for a few minutes. So I understood Forex very, very well because I had lost so much money trading out of currency because I'm leaving one country, going into another one. They have the currency exchange window booths or whatever at every airport. So, you know, that makes sense to me. I understand it. But, you know, so then looking at getting into it, you have to know all of these things like what you're talking about right now. Seymour Beasy, like what you're talking about right now. You got to know all these things, what countries is doing. It was like, okay, so this is really political. This is like what country is building a well, what country launching a satellite, and how is that going to affect the value of the money, and whose regime just beat somebody up, or, you know, what allies do you have now that you didn't have yesterday? I was like, yo, you know what? I'm cool. Now I get it. They got AI watching all this stuff now, but at the time, you know, it was like, all right, you know what? I'm cool. I'll be all right. So, but currency is all the same to me, whether or not it's crypto or physical currency. It's whatever people are willing to trade for it. But yeah, so anyway, where you guys watching from? I'm just curious. Where y'all watching from? Let's see. Currently learning Forex trading. That's what's up. Man, you know, they got all these AI things, these little tools that trade for you automatically. And, you know, back when I was learning about Forex, I was just like learning about Forex. It was like real, it wasn't all that going on. You know, when I see all these people in these groups and they moving up in the class, I'm on silver status, I'm on 500 silver. Like, I'm like, I don't understand what this is, because this just seems like you just trade. But now I know they have these programs that it's kind of like an MLM, but basically it's an MLM where you come in and you get access to these programs that trade for you technically, or that you learn how to trade with. And I guess they have different levels of these programs, and you know, you try and get somebody else to come in, and if they come in, it's an MLM, but you get a percentage off of anybody else who signs up and uses the programs. That's not the form of Forex trading that I was accustomed to. It was just actually trading Forex. Like, I was just trading currency, picking currency, buying it, selling it. You know, this is the whole different thing they got now. And then options trading, man, that options trading, I'll be saying, I know some hood guys who trade in options. I'm talking about like hood, like hood dodging cases, all that. And they doing options trading, and that's what they doing full time. You know what I'm saying? They like, hey, I'm trying to get out of the trap, man. I'm just doing this options trading, man. What you think about that? Do your thing, brother. Get out the hood. So, but options trading is also good. But you know what we got to do is we got to start understanding facts versus opinions. Facts versus opinions. That's where I'm at with it. Is your job going to pay you more money because inflation is going up higher? More than likely, they probably have to. because you have to have a livable wage. And if not, you need to go find another job. And there's no two sizes equal, right? Like the amount of money that, let's say me and you had the same job. I might be struggling and you might be lit because we got two different type of expenses. You might live in a family house that was passed down to you, and me, I am building a house from the ground up, or I'm in an apartment that goes up, $50 every year, and I've been here 10 years. It's $500 more per month than it was when I came, Oh no, I'm sorry. Did I say $50? Yeah, okay, that's right. So, but it went up $50 every month more over 10 years, and so my income couldn't have stayed the same for that whole time, I need to be making more than $50 per month, $500 more per month, more than I made 10 years ago. And there are people who aren't, Every situation is different. So, it's hard to really say, because I can promise you, I know people who make $100,000 and they live paycheck to paycheck, and they not even just paycheck to paycheck. They ain't got no money. They broke. And they make $100,000. And then you got people who make $50,000 and, they got $20,000 saved. And it's like, how did you do this? But they, different situations. Matter of fact, Jeezy, let me see if I can play it. Listen to this. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Give me a second. And I used to always say this. I used to always say that it's different. I grew up in Tallahassee, so I was in the city, and I was born in South Georgia, so it wasn't like, it's like when we lived in Tallahassee, we were in apartments, you know what I'm saying? When I was in South Georgia, we had houses and land and, family stuff. But in Tallahassee, it's no family stuff, it's just city stuff. So I'm kind of a city kid. So it's like, when I see the guys who was hustling in the country and, trapping and stuff like that, and I'm seeing them get money, and they money jump. Like, they start out small, and they getting big bread. And I'm like, that could never happen in the city. Like, not even though we got more people, more clients, more whatever, it was different, because even with those couple people that was down there in the country, they didn't have the same amount of expenses that we had in the city. Like, the day-to-day expenses was just different. Listen to what Jesus said.
When I made a decision, I was like, I'm going to stack me some money, because I had stacked up maybe $1,500. Yeah. I was like, I can really stack some money. So every day for almost 2.5, 3 years, I walked to Subway and got me a $2 meal, and that's the only money I spent every day, $2. I got a drink, a cookie, bag of chips, and a 6-cent sub, and that's what I ate every day for 2 years. I see y'all.
All right. Now, that is ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. He spent $2. He spent $2 every day. You could never do that in the city. You could never do that in the city. Never. To get the subway, well, I don't know, we could walk a lot of places, but, we had the city bus, things like that, like, life is just way different in the city. Where are you staying? Where are you staying? Where? Where are you staying? What kind of clothes are you wearing? How did you only spend $2 a day? This is crazy. This is not something that even makes sense for the city life. So I tell people, you can't compare city hustling versus country hustling. It's two different things. The country dude may have more money, but there may be a city dude who been through way more stuff to get $2,500. You know what I'm saying? If it was a kid in high school and he got $2,500 out the streets, like on some real hustling every day, and he done stacked up to $2,500, that's a cold dude. That dude cold. He cold. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. But then you got a guy who might have 40,000 in the country, but he sleep at grandma's house. He eat there. She cook every day. 3 meals a day. He getting breakfast, lunch, and dinner there. He jump in the car with somebody and ride somewhere. He, you know what I'm saying? But or his people come pull up at his grandma's house and he serve them, you know, in the yard. You know what I'm saying? But his costs is so low, and then when people start finding, oh, you the one, so now the whole country coming to him. And he jumping, he booming. But like, it's a different thing in the city. It's a different thing. And then, you know, a lot of that in the country, like you might have family members, you know, everybody from down this way, but in the city, boy, these boy trying to run off on you, boy, these boy trying to kick your dough in. Not saying they don't go down in the country, because they definitely go down in the country. It's just a different kind of thing, you know. It's just a different kind of thing. It's 9 different high schools in Tallahassee. Accountant. I like that one. How's it going, Casino? I'm going to be taking Intermediate 2 and Cost 1 in spring 2024 with 2 other classes. That's what's up, brother. Yeah, man, look, just remember, everything really just build off of the foundation courses. And once you get past the foundation courses, it's really pretty simple. Cost accounting, man, people hated cost accounting and they hated managerial accounting. And I didn't understand that, right? If you're in management accounting, you need to figure out, you know, from a management perspective, what's going on. So you need to understand, you know, so you're preparing to lead a company or to manage an organization. So you need certain information in order to do that. It's management accounting, cost accounting. How much is this thing costing us? Like it's not. How much is this product costing us to manufacture, to create, to do? Like, it's not that difficult. It's really not from a standing back from it and just saying, okay, what is this? I remember intermediate accounting, but it was a lot easier than accounting 1. Accounting 1 was a nightmare because I didn't understand accounting at all. I kept trying to put what I understood in the regular life into what it was actually like in accounting. Right, accounting was like, you talk about debits and credits, right? I think about my bank cards, or I think about my credit card. I think about my bank card, right? My bank card say debit on it. My credit card say credit on it, or don't say credit. I just know it's a credit card. But you know, so in my mind, debits and credits is that, right? So the debit something and the credit something is 2 separate things. So, in my logic, it was like, okay, if I debit something, then it's actually coming out of my bank account. If you give me credit, now I have more money than I actually really have. But it's the opposite in accounting. If I debit something, or if I credit, credit is actually going out, and debiting is it coming in. So it was like I couldn't fully grasp. I kept trying to think of things in real life, but then when you think about things like LIFO and FIFO, see, for me, the more I could understand about, the more I could understand it in the real world. Like if I can give anybody any advice from trying to learn accounting or anything in school, try to understand it in a real world sense, right? So when I think about LIFO and FIFO, and they say last in, first out, first in, first out, FIFO, first in, first out, LIFO, last in, first out. What does that even mean? Okay, but then when I go to the store and I see, and let's say last in, first out is of course like not how most stuff is, right? Most stuff is first in, first out. But when I go to the store and I see them stacking the shelf in the refrigerated area where the drinks and stuff are, they're putting they're behind the thing. I can see them back there, and they sliding the milk to the front from the back. So whatever's already in the front is the oldest. And they want you to pull from that. Why do they want you to pull from that? Because if you get imagine if they stack it wrong and they put all the new milk in the front first and the old milk in the back, you have a greater chance of the old milk expiring before it ever actually gets selected. And then you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're losing products. But there are situations where you may want to go last in, first out. But like, say in situations where you're dealing with medications, there was we learned about a situation in school where somebody had stacked the stuff that goes in the syringes that people needed to shoot some kind of medicine. They stacked the medicine wrong at a hospital, and they had a lot of this medicine. They stacked it wrong. They used all the new medicines, and then discovered that the old stuff the stuff that they were supposed to be using had expired. So they had to get rid of hundreds of thousands of dollars of supplies because somebody just stacked it wrong. So accounting is accountability. People think it's math. It's not even math. It's just accountability. It's a language, The language of business is what accounting is. Accountant said, that's very true. I just finished Intermediate 1 at University of South Florida, and let me tell you, sorry, it's small, I'm trying to see it. Let me tell you, I learned a lot. I actually finished my final on Wednesday doing LIFO and FIFO. I got an A average before I took it. That's what's up, man. Yeah, so now everywhere I go, I see accounting stuff in everything. Because now, of course, I can't go anywhere and see things that aren't accounting. I go in the store and I see accounting. I go to the gas pump, I see accounting. I see it everywhere, right? Also, since we on the subject, LIFO, right? What kind of situations would somebody want to do a LIFO kind of situation? It might be a situation where I had the original product that I had came in, and there's no shelf life on some things, right? So I got a new product. My original product is in, and we've been selling it or whatever like that. But then I get a new product that has a higher price mark, and maybe it does have a shelf life, but my original didn't. So I come in and I have this new product that is, sorry, my dog is here, by the way, so she run around. But I get a new product and I want to sell this product, or I need to sell this product before I finish selling my other one. Maybe it's just a higher price point. I'm trying to get to a certain amount. Maybe I just think it's a better premium product. I'm still going to sell the old one, but I just really want to push out this new product right now. And so I'm going to try to push this out first. And yeah, hopefully you get the other one too. But this one right here, I'm making $1,000 off it. And the other one, I'm making $50 off it. So yeah, it'll sell, but that's not what my main focus is. Let's sell these. So those are situations that you might want to use LIFO. But, it's just all accounting stuff, That's interesting how a simple concept was not used and they lost tons of, how a simple concept was not used and they lost tons of money. Yeah, and it happens all the time. That's why accounting is important. You know how many people who I know who do business and they have no understanding of whether or not they're making money or which product is the best product that they should be selling or whatever. It happens. Anyway, I'm about to get up off of here. Just glad to come on here and holler at y'all, man. Anyway, right now you're watching Casino Is the Name. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure y'all hit the like button for your boy. You hear me? All right now you're watching Casino Is the Name. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we are out.
Beat me up, Scotty.
Me and her together, we just count it up. Money on my mind, I can't get enough. Don't play with my money, you don't want no beef. Cause I come from the bottom, I come from the street. When she first saw me, she said, who is that? When a man saw me, he called me a threat. I'm the one that really live with a rap. They ain't never did it, they ain't really try.
Beat me up, Scotty.
There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? There's money everywhere. There's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino Is the Name.